Good everyone and welcome to this episode of Spreadsheet Skills. Today we are going to be looking at a few formulas. We've got the unique formula, we've got the sort formula, SUMIF, and also we're going to squeeze in VLOOKUP. Now we're doing that by looking at this example here, Sally's shoe shop and her transactions for today. We've got the sales data. First column is simply a key, so just referencing what sales were done in the day. Number 1, number 2, number 3, etc. Then we've got the employees who made that sale, the amount in that transaction, and the items that were sold. So basically we're going to ask a couple of things that's going to give us reporting results for the end of day. And those questions are, how many sales did each employee make? Who had the highest total amount of sales? Who had the highest average sales? And just to squeeze in VLOOKUP, what items were sold in the sale with the highest total? AKA these two sneakers. But anyway, let's scroll down. And the first thing we are going to do is we need a list of the employee names. Is there 4 employees, 5 employees? I don't know. Let's figure it out by using our first formula for today. That is unique. Now, with unique, we're going to type in equals. Actually, before we do that, let's have a heading, employees. Then we're going to type in equals unique, open bracket. Now to select the range, we're going to click on the first cell, drag down, and then let go of left click on the last one. Close the bracket, enter. There we go. We got a list of the 4 employees that were working there. Whoops. And what if we want this alphabetically? Well, this is where our second formula, sort, comes into play. Now, with sort, what we want to do is, I'll show you a quick example. Let's say we got the number 7, 5, 1, 10. We want to sort these. So what we do is equals, SORT, open bracket, select the range, close bracket, and boom. It sorted it into array 1, 5, 7, 10, which is really cool. Now, one thing you should know about arrays like unique and sort is only one cell needs a formula and you don't need to expand all the way. And if you accidentally do type in something in the cell where things are going to be, it's going to say, oh my god, there's an error, array couldn't expand because there was some data in A26. And so you get rid of that and you'll just fill out the rest as it needs to. So what we want to do is we want to sort these uniques. So this is where we're going to nest the formula. So we're going to type in SORT right before unique, open the bracket, and at the end we're going to close the bracket, making sure all brackets are closed. And there we go. In order, we got Becca, Denise, Tyrone, and Ziggy. So, what was it, the first question we did? How many sales does each employee make? Now, this is where our third formula is going to come into play. This formula is SUMIF. Now, with SUMIF, what we want to do is type in equal, SUMIF, open bracket, range. What are the things that we're going to count? In this case, we are going to be looking at employee name, because if the employee criteria is equal to, and we're going to click on the cell where Becca's name is, so it's 823, comma, and then optionally what we can do is pick this range which has the sales amounts. So it's going to say, if in the first range we see Becca's name, in the second range get those sales numbers and sum them up. So let's close the bracket and see what that adds up to. We've got 210, which is pretty good. Let's do that manual count. 30 plus 70 is 100. Becca another 40, so 140 plus 140 plus 70 is 210. There we go. We got the exact same amount. Now we've got to be careful here that we do not just simply fill the rest. Because what you'll notice here in the formulas here, you'll notice that instead of B7 to B18 for all of them, it's actually going down in one, because every time you fill, it actually moves the formula down. So what we've got to do is we've got to lock in the references for that range. So what we do is we click on B7 there, and we're going to add $1 before the B. And we're going to do the same thing for, we're going to do the same thing right after the B, and we're going to lock in the 7. Then we're going to lock in the B again, and we're going to lock in the 18. And we're going to do the same thing for the range with our sales numbers, so C7 and C18. And the only thing we want to not be locked is A23, because as we fill that down. We want the next one to be A24, but we still want to lock in the ranges. So let's move that down, and look, that has fixed up the formulas. It's locked the thing in. We've actually, this time you can notice that Ziggy's sales changed. So before it was 60, and that's because it was missing out this top sale here, because every time we filled, the range was getting lower and lower. So by fixing the references of that range, we are making sure we're getting all the sales that we need. So that's what we got. How many sales did employee make? We've got 210 for Becca, 110, 120, and 110 for Ziggy. Oh, that was total amount. That's the second question. We're skipping ahead. Something from last week was COUNTIF. Sorry, last episode I should say. COUNTIF. So we're going to use COUNTIF. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So what we're going to actually do is we're going to actually copy and paste a formula from SUMIF. We're going to paste it. And all we're going to do is be sneaky and change the count. The sum to count. And let's see what that result gets us. NA. Ooh, what is the error there? Wrong number. Arguments expected 2, but we got 3. And that's because we don't need this additional column for sum. So let's close that up. Yes. Autofill that. That's the manual count for Becca. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 sales for Becca. That's correct. How many sales for Tyrone? We've got 2. 1, 2. There we go. Perfect. So we got that formula working. Maybe over here we'll say total amount sold and number of sales. Let's switch that around real quick. There we go. And we'll fill in that. There we go. Now, what was the last part of question 1? Who had the highest average sales? So, remember basic math. Equal number of items sold divided by number of sales is going to give us our average. And so we've got 52.5 for Becca, but 60 for Tyrone. Tyrone has the highest average sales. If we wanted to figure that out with the formula as well, we can type in max, open bracket, and we're going to just fill in that range. Close bracket, and there we go. 60 comes up. But the question asks us who had the highest amount of sales. And so we can just say, look, 60. Who had 60? Tyrone had 60. But that's a bit manual. What if we want to do something fancy? What if we actually want the name pop up of the person with the highest average? Average. So, this becomes real tricky unless you know a formula known as VLOOKUP. Now, with VLOOKUP, it is very, very finicky. What it demands us to do is have a table arranged in a way that the thing that we are VLOOKUPing up, in this case we're looking at the number 60, be the first item in our table, right? And so we're going to quickly make a new table. We're going to copy paste this average sales. And we're going to copy paste, let's just paste special, Shift Control V. And we're going to copy paste employees, Shift Control V. And let's make it nice and pretty. There we go. Maybe for this and for this. Oops. We are going to go into format, number, and we're going to click on 2 decimal points there. There we go. It looks much nicer. We need to have a table where the thing that we're looking up, in this case, the highest average sale, is going to be in the first column. So we made a new table, and what we're going to do is equal. So highest average, and we're going to done by. Alright, this is we're going to type in the formula. VLOOKUP. We're going to search key. So the key. So what is that we're looking for? In this case, we're looking for 60. comma, range. What is basically the table that you're looking at? So we're looking at this table here. Make sure it's all the columns which are in that table. Index, the result that we want back, which column is it in? It's not in column 1, it's in column 2. So type in column 2. Is this sorted? Doesn't look like it's sorted. So we're going to type in comma, false. And hit enter. And there we go, we've got Tyrone's name coming up there. Now, make sure you do type in false if it's not sorted. Otherwise, you'll end up with a false result like Ziggy. I have no idea where that number comes from. It's just the way things are. So we've got to make sure we type in false. Otherwise, we will get the incorrect result with VLOOKUP. It's actually quite a tricky formula to use. So if you can avoid it, avoid it. If you need to use it, this is how you do use it. And we're also going to use it for part 2. What items were sold in the sale with the highest total? So same thing. We're going to be like, we're going to figure out what the highest sale amount was here, and so we're going to use a formula for that. Highest sale. Similarly, we're going to do equals max. We're going to get that column, close that up. Highest sale was 100. Who got that? Is our table going to tell us? Oh no, the question was what items were sold in the highest sale. And so if we make this a pretend table with just 2 columns, this actually becomes our first column. And so that's where the index is going to be that we're looking for. So we're going to be includes items, then equals VLOOKUP. You can do a HLOOKUP if you've got a horizontal table, but in this case we've got a vertical table. Search key is this cell here, comma, the range is going to be this mini table here. There we go, comma, index, we want the second column as the result, and false, this is not sorted. 2 sneakers were sold in the sale with the highest value. And that's what we have for today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.